Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel, What My Lens Sees. Happy to have you here. And today I want to share with you my top 10 favorite accessories for shooting video with the Nikon Z6. So let's just get right into it here. 5 of my top 10 accessories are shown right here. First and foremost, and number 1 on the list is the DJI Ronin S Gimbal. Number 2 is the Atomos Ninja 5 external recorder. At number 3 is the Samho Mini HDMI to HDMI cable connecting the external recorder to the camera. At number 4 is the SmallRig wooden left side handle. And at number 5 is the SmallRig magic arm that connects the external recorder to the additional handle. Next up, at number 6 is a 3-stop neutral density filter made by Breakthrough Photography. At number 7, we have a circular polarizer made by ProMaster. Coming in at number 8 is my cleaning supplies. At number 9, we have the Nikon FTZ adapter. And last, but certainly not least, at number 10 is the Rode Video Mic Plus, which is an on-camera shotgun microphone. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, why do I need all this stuff? Doesn't the camera more or less come with all these things already built in? The answer to that question is mostly yes, but if you're crazy about the details and you want to shoot beautiful cinematic footage, then in my opinion, these things are all very important. So here's my Cliff Notes version of why I think these things are important for any Nikon Z6 videographer. The DJI Ronin S, if you want steady, stable, smooth, butter-like, whatever footage, you need a gimbal. In-body stabilization is great, but for me, it requires too much work in post, and half of it, even with that stabilization, footage is oftentimes not usable. Maybe I got shaky hands, I don't know. In terms of number 2, the Atomos Ninja 5 external recorder, a couple reasons why I use this. Number 1, it helps me see when I'm shooting outside. I'm working in very bright, sunny conditions a lot of the time when I'm out at resorts. And quite honestly, the monitor on the Nikon Z6 is nice, but it's impossible to see in those really bright, sunny conditions. So to have a monitor that's much bigger, it makes it much easier to see, and I can actually tell if I've got all my settings dialed in right, if I need to do another take, or if the first one was okay. That's one great thing about the Ninja 5. The other thing that it allows is it unlocks capabilities that the Nikon Z6 doesn't have internally. So when you're connected, you can shoot in 10-bit, which gives you a lot more colors to work with. And in the future, it's going to allow shooting in 12-bit, which is fantastic. And it gives you the ability to shoot in log format, which I do 50% of the time. In certain situations, it just gives you a lot more flexibility in post. Number 3, believe it or not, was one of the toughest things for me to figure out with my video camera setup, and that's this cable. It's small, it's lightweight, and it's flexible, that being the key bit. If you get more of a standard mini HDMI to HDMI cable, what you'll find when you use it with a gimbal is it's too rigid. It's going to push back on the gimbal, and the gimbal's going to have to fight it constantly, and you're going to get jitter, which is exactly what you don't want when you're filming with a gimbal. Trust me, I love this thing. Go out and get a few of them. They're awesome. Okay, I'm going to talk about number 4 and number 5 together, and that is this handle right here by SmallRig, which attaches right to your DJI Ronin S very easily, just 2 screws at the bottom there to fit that in. And the one downside of the Ronin S is it is a bit heavy, and it's a lot to carry with just one hand. So when you get that second hand in there to carry this thing around, it just helps take the load off and also to keep things steady. Once you've got this handle attached, then there's this thing called the magic arm that you can use to attach the monitor. This thing is great. You can loosen it so that it can be configured really any way you want. Super easy to use, one tighten, and this thing is locked in and solid. These two things were an excellent excellent addition to the gimbal setup. At number 6, we have the 3-stop neutral density filter. This is really needed when you're shooting during the day and there's a lot of light, especially when you're outside, let's say you're on a beach. You have to have this if you want to follow one of the fundamental rules of filmmaking, which is called the 180-degree rule. Basically, that means your shutter speed is twice that of your frame rate. Most of the time, I shoot in 24 frames per second. That means my shutter speed needs to be 1/50th. Okay, coming in at number 7 is my trusty circular polarizer. As a landscape photographer for the last 20 years, this is always something I have in my camera bag. What this does is when you're shooting water or sky or vegetation, which for me is probably 90% of what I shoot, this is going to help remove the glare in the water or the haze in the sky. So your blues are going to pop more, your greens are going to look more vibrant. This is really something that every filmmaker should have in addition to that ND filter. And at number 8, my cleaning stuff. Look, I'm outside a lot to shoot. Not only that, I'm in the wind, I'm on the beach, there's sand everywhere. Kids want to play with my camera gear and for some reason I let them. But after every shoot, I have to spend time cleaning all my stuff. I don't know if you've ever tried, but removing sand specks from your sensor or your lenses in post-processing is a royal pain in the butt. So I try not to do that. I try and keep everything clean and make sure that it's clean when I go out for a shoot. A couple things I want to show you here. One, just this little bulb. Spray it on your lens, just air. When you do that, you're going to get all the sand off your lens, which is a really good thing before you take a cloth and wipe it. If you wipe a cloth on glass when there's sand on it, you're going to scratch it up. I learned that the hard way, so don't do that. Another thing could be just this little brush to take it off the lens. In addition, somehow sand and dust, it gets into my camera. And recently I tested out this full frame sensor cleaning kit from VSGO. It worked amazing. I took all the specs off. I didn't have to worry about breaking my camera. Everything works great and no more of those nasty little specks. Number 9, pretty self-explanatory. This is the FTZ adapter. It basically adapts your F-mount lenses from Nikon to the Z mount on the new Nikon Z6. And it's as easy as just snapping it in. And all those lenses that you've collected over the years and spent likely a lot of money on are now usable with the Nikon Z6 camera. It's awesome. And the last thing on my list of the top 10 accessories for the Nikon Z6 is the Rode shotgun external mic. This thing is great. It is going to vastly improve your audio quality over Nikon's internal microphone. So that's it, guys. I hope this has been helpful for you. I get the question a lot, Dan, what are you using to shoot with? And obviously, with the camera, I can explain that. I've talked about the lenses a little, but it's all those other accessories that I think kind of make or break your film. So I really do hope this has been helpful. For me, it's been a process. I've bought this camera back in March, so we're about 6 months in, and I'm just now comfortable making a video like this. I've had to spend a lot of time kind of trying out different things and, failing a few times, but I think I've finally landed on a camera rig that works for pretty much everything I do, and I'm really happy about that, and I'm really happy to share it with all of you. So if you like this video, please like it, please comment, please subscribe. It helps me to keep going. It gives me something to look forward to each and every day as your feedback. And if you have any great suggestions about other things that complement the Nikon Z6, I'd love to hear it down below in the comments. One last thing, I will be listing in the description each of the things I reviewed with affiliate link. If you're ever considering buying any of these things, please consider just clicking on that link. Again, it helps me to keep on doing my thing and making some fun videos out on YouTube. So thanks again for watching. Now go get out there and enjoy that beautiful Nikon Z6 camera. We'll see you here next time, okay?